Broadcast school has really paid off.
The Cooper and Anthony Show.
Oh, somebody gets food sent to them during the show, but no, we can't have food.
No, because you guys, we don't all eat the same stuff.
And do you know how much that stuff stinks?
I'm sorry. Just so you know, somebody sent me some sushi.
No, they didn't send you any sushi. You picked up the phone and ordered sushi.
And they sent me sushi.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know that I ordered it. You just saw somebody bring it in to me. You didn't know who they were and why they were here.
You know, like about a half hour before it came,
when you were
on the phone, saying, "Yeah, I'd like to order some sushi."
You didn't hear me ordering food. You didn't hear me. You were busy. You were on the computer and you were busy doing whatever you do.
We still have ears.
No, you were. I didn't think you heard. I didn't think you were listening.
Because
you ordered 2 tunas and 2 salmons.
That's true.
And we knew that she wasn't on the phone with Sean Lee, her husband, because there was no yelling.
Nice. Yeah.
I was actually being kind to somebody and giving an address and all that.
So we knew it must have had to do with food.
All right, well, I haven't eaten yet, and so I ordered some sushi, and I asked you guys. Chad, I knew wasn't going to have any.
Yeah, Anthony likes his fish cooked.
And I said to Anthony, "Are you hungry?" And he said, "Nah." So
we call that in my town bait.
Well, you can have your sushi, and we'll have our Krispy Kreme donuts that are right over there.
Well, but at least it smells good in here from them. But now it smells bad because of my sushi. I apologize. It smells bad in here now, doesn't it?
Now, who got you to eat that for the first time? There had to be somebody that said, you have to eat this.
My mom, when I was in high school.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She was always one of those traveling kind of women who was always going to other countries and eating food and coming back and going, "You should try this." And she wanted to expand my palate, even as a young buck. So, yeah, she always made it a point when I was a kid to take me to Thai food and Ethiopian food and stuff like that. So, yeah, she took me for Japanese food when I was a little girl. And I liked it. What did I know? So I've been eating it all this time. Oh, but did I ever tell you the story about the guy that I took for the first time for sushi?
Okay.
Oh, my God, this is my favorite story. Okay, so I was set up on a date with this guy. And the way he was described to me, I got to tell you, it wasn't really, I don't know why I went on the date, because he was described as being a little full of himself and a little arrogant. But I was at the age where, if he was cute, I was interested, and arrogant meant self-confident.
To be a fly on the wall on that date.
Well, it's true.
Yeah, let me tell you about me. No. Let me tell you about me. No. Let me tell you about me.
I was talking about me first. No, I was talking about me. So, see, the thing is, he was arrogant and obnoxious.
Lethal combination.
And every time I said something, he was always like the kind of guy that was trying to one-up me.
Yeah, he has to one-up. And then you have to one-up him.
But I couldn't one-up him because he had done more than I did. And I wasn't trying to one-up him. It was like, I said to him, like, for example, I said, I was just telling the story about friends of mine, and we decided to take a trip together, and we ended up going to Dublin. He was like, "Oh, Dublin, I love Dublin. I go there all the time. Did you go to blah, 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 blah?" I was like, "No, I was there for 3 days. I was there to see an Eddie Izzard concert. I had dinner, and I turned around and flew home. Like, I was there for all of 3 days." He was like, "Oh, well, the next time you go, you must try. Oh, and by the way, don't waste your time in Dublin. Head over to Belfast." But it was like one of those kind of things where
when you go into so-and-so, tell them Pompous Dude sent you.
Exactly. It was that kind of thing. Where I was like, Mary, and the story wasn't even about going to Dublin. It was like a side point. It was like about my friends and I and the crazy stuff we do together and how we just, took off for a trip for like a long weekend. So everything I said, he had to outdo me. If I ate steak, he had 4 steaks, whatever it was. So he had never had sushi before. So when he suggested, he said, "Where do you want to go for dinner?" I said, "Oh, there's a great new sushi place that opened up in my neighborhood." He didn't want to admit that he'd never had sushi before, and that he'd only eaten, the cooked stuff, like the teriyaki and whatever.
Fish sticks.
Yeah, fish sticks. He was Chad.
Mrs. Paul.
Right. So, not to be outdone, of course. I ordered a whole bunch of raw fish. So he ordered some too. He was willing to try. He said, "What don't you eat?" I said, "I don't like eel." And he ordered like 4 pieces of eel, and he was so proud of himself. And he was so obnoxious, I couldn't stand it. So when you order sushi, the way it comes, if you've never had it before, after they bring you a plate with all your sushi on it, but on the side there's two things. There's ginger, and the ginger is there to for your palate. So if it's too spicy, or if you in between fish, just the way in Indian food they give yogurt for that reason to bring your palate back to neutral, so you can taste the next flavor. And that's the reason why the ginger's there, to bring you to the next flavor. Or if you've eaten something too spicy,
It's like sorbet.
It's like sorbet, exactly. But the reason why it's spicy, because there's something called wasabi.
Wasabi.
And wasabi is the green.
Wasabi.
I like to put it in it's there to make your food a little spicier. It's part of the flavoring. And you put it in, you mix it in with the soy sauce.
But you do it in very small quantities.
Most people do it in very small quantities, yes. I like a little extra wasabi because I like it real spicy.
Wasabi.
But it's that kind of thing. It's almost like when you go to one of those Mexican restaurants where they make the guacamole there right in front of you, and they ask you how spicy you like it. And you could say mild and they put nothing in it, or you could say really spicy and they throw in all the jalapeno stuff in it for you. So it's that same sort of thing, but you control it. So this guy had never seen this before, this obnoxious guy. So I'm explaining to him what everything is on the plate, and I explained to him what the ginger is and why there's ginger, and I said, this little piece of green is called wasabi.
Wasabi.
They only give you a little bit because it's really, really expensive.
But it's not.
Oh, you didn't tell him it was hot.
I didn't tell him it was hot. And I knew, I could tell by this guy's character immediately that he was going to be impressed by the fact that something very expensive was on his plate.
Yeah, give me a quart of it.
And he took the wasabi in the chopsticks and put it in his mouth.
No.
And I did not say a word. Yeah, he put it in raw. It would be like somebody biting into a jalapeno pepper and you not
Or a
telling them
habanero.
or a habanero, and you not telling them that it's spicy. So he put the whole thing in his mouth. And I just sat there smug, like.
And if you're driving, no, that's not behind you. That's Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony likes to make those noises. Yeah.
No, the one that scares people is when I do this. When you're driving down the road, you hear, what's that?
Don't do that to people, Anthony.
The funny thing, I was listening to another show on our station, and they played that sound effect on their show, and I about jumped out of my skin.
You looked behind
on the
you.
road. So
Where'd the truck come from?
You thought Ken was bearing down on you from behind.
So now I know what it does to people when I do that, and right now they're going, "What is that?"
Please stop doing that to people. That's not very nice.
All right, so the
Anthony.
obnoxious guy has just chugged a whole chopstick full of wasabi.
Oh, he took the whole entire thing in his mouth.
Wasabi.
And I didn't say a word. I mean, I wanted to stop him, but there was a side of me that I was like, this guy so deserves this.
Because you have a bit of a mean streak.
And he was so smug and obnoxious. And I'm sorry. And he insulted what I was wearing. And he made some comment like, the friend who set us up, Susan said you were thin. As if like I wasn't. He was like, God, Susan said you were thin.
Like he's saying, but you're not, you're fat.
Right, like you're not. Like she made it sound like you were skinny.
Right.
And I was kind of like, what's the big, like, why would you even say that to a woman? So when he went to take the wasabi, I was like, yeah, this guy's eating the wasabi.
Yeah.
I'm letting him just. So he puts the whole thing in his mouth, and the look on his face, he was like, it was so hot.
Wasabi.
And you could see there was a moment where he didn't know if it was supposed to be hot and he had to be cool about it. Like it was supposed to be, like everybody else eats it here, but he's just being a wimp.
Right.
Or whether I've tricked him. You could see the look on his face where he wasn't quite sure which way if he should be like shocked and upset and then he started grabbing water and I said, oh God, I didn't say that it was spicy, did I?
And does water have no effect like it does on peppers, or does water quench the wasabi?
Water has very little effect. It's the ginger. You're supposed to put the ginger right in, but I didn't quite get to that part of the
Right.
tutorial yet. Yeah,
You're too busy eating yours.
I was too busy eating mine. Laughing. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
But
Call me
sushi is
fat, will you?
sushi is one of those foods that people just die for you to eat. No, you must eat this. No, I'm not going to eat that. That's horrible. It just looks wrong.
You're right about that. The sushi does have that quality where people feel like, no, you have to have
Because
this. You
some
have to
people
taste
really,
it.
really love it. And a friend of mine that lives in Nashville that I know, he eats that stuff 3 times a day. Mm-hmm. Every day he'll eat it.
Oh, okay. Now,
Uh-oh.
Anthony, you just really upset Karen. Karen, please yell at Anthony for doing that to you.
Oh my God. I want to say something else, but I was like, oh snap. I'm like, did I run a light or something? And people are like pulling over with me. I'm like, is somebody, what did I do?
See, now, Karen's happily listening to the show. I'm telling a story about sushi, and you're playing this cop thing, and Karen thinks she's getting pulled over.
Everybody's
I'm like,
pulling over.
I'm like on 85. I'm like, where is he? I'm like, oh.
Now, did you start to pull over when you heard me say, "Don't worry, it's just Anthony"?
My heart was like in my throat.
Anthony, he's sitting over there laughing.
That was the funniest thing I think I've ever.
Karen, I'm glad you're laughing because that's a cruel joke that he just played, just like the cruel joke I played on the guy with the wasabi.
Right.
And what made it so bad was I ran a yellow light, and I was like, oh, I gotta make this yellow light. I can't stand wait through 3 traffic lights. I gotta make it. I was like gunning it around the corner. I was like, I gotta go. It's 9 o'clock. Something's gotta be on TV. I got to get home.
And you have that second where you're like, what did I do? Did I go through a light? Did I just pass a stop sign? You start to like think in your head, what have you
Going
done?
to
I
jail.
was like freaking out, and then I had to pull over. I was like, oh, damn, there's no cop behind me.
She had to pull over, Anthony.
I'm sorry.
It's not funny.
It's funny.
I don't think you should laugh. Karen
You
can
can't
laugh.
do that no more, man. It's not right. I'm like in tears. I can't even drive straight. I'm like in tears. Like, that was the funniest thing.
Thank you for saying funny because I was about to kill him.
You just can't do it no more, you know?
Yeah, Anthony, stop it. Stop
It
doing
was
that to
just too
people.
much.
Thank you, Karen. And I apologize. I'm sorry for him. I apologize.
I tried to give a disclaimer, but I don't know if it worked.
It didn't work because look, Chuck had a. Anthony, stop doing that. Stop it, Anthony. Stop
That's
it.
Anthony. It's not a real cop.
It's Anthony. It's not
Go
a
about
cop.
your business.
But that's not a police siren anyway. This
It's-
is a police siren.
No, don't do a police siren.
That was a fire truck.
No, please don't do any more sirens.
This is a police siren.
Anthony, stop doing
Okay.
sirens because people are going to think they're getting pulled over left and right. Chuck, I apologize.
Cooper, I'm a security officer in Charlotte, and I'm not lying. There was a CMPD officer pulling around in front of me, and right before he got out of the side, I hear Anthony play his little siren. So I'm trying to figure out if that's him or not. Now,
Anthony,
I can tell the difference, but when they both first start out, they sound about the same.
Anthony, stop laughing. It's not funny. Chuck almost pulled over also.
No, I actually had to turn off the radio to. No, I turned off the radio to try to hear where he was, and then it stopped. I'm like, oh, they're playing the sound effect.
You're like, oh, see, and you made him turn off the radio.
See, Anthony is a menace, don't you think, Chuck?
Sure.
He's a danger.
And he thinks he's sitting over there laughing his butt off. You think it's so funny,
It's like
Anthony.
he's 10.
I think it's funny, too.
Amy, look what you did to Amy.
Yeah, the guy in front of me must have the same station on because we both pulled over at the same time to let the emergency vehicle go through.
Anthony is on the floor laughing. Yeah, I think he needs CPR.
Well, take
God.
him while he's down, will you? I mean, everyone else is passing is trying to figure out, well, I don't see hazard lights. There's nothing going on.
So people behind you were like, why did those two cars all of a sudden pull over?
Yeah. I mean, we're being good citizens here.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
And what are the
That's
odds of
terrible.
two cars in a row listening to us?
No,
Right.
very small.
Wow.
Amy, I'm so sorry. I really apologize. He's 4 years old. I apologize. He's such an immature idiot.
I think after men have kids, or have a woman who has kids for them on their behalf,
Uh-huh. Because that is what happens.
they revert. And
Back to being a
can't
kid.
there's no getting you back to adulthood. It's just over.
Well, because
It's
you
just
got to play
over.
with the kids, and once you get to that level, you just stay there.
My husband picked out toys for my son when he was about a month old.
Oh, okay.
Okay, how about this? How about this? And I said, it's for an 8-year-old. Well, I can break it in for him. I'll have all the bugs worked out. I'll know exactly how to work it by then.
Well, thank goodness your husband at least picked toys for an 8-year-old, not a 4-year-old. At least he thinks he's 8 and not 4. Because at least an 8-year-old you can have a conversation with, unlike that idiot over there
Right.
who's 4.
Sorry, Amy.
Yes. It's quite all right.
But you should apologize to people. And by the way, Anthony,
What?
please apologize to Roy.
Roy?
Hey.
Hey, take this, Roy.
No, that's not an apology. No, stop it. Anthony.
I thought something was wrong with my place of work. I just locked up when I heard the fire truck.
See, Roy is locking up. He thought that the alarm was going off in his building.
And then, once I realized it was the radio, I got on the road, and there was a fire truck on the road.
That wasn't me, though, Roy.
I just wanted to call because I thought it was hilarious.
Roy, you don't have to hide behind humor. You can actually yell at him if you want to.
No, I really thought it was quite funny.
Okay.
All right, from now on, I'm just going to play, like, polka music.
See, but here's the problem. People are calling and saying it was funny. It's going to encourage you to do it again, and I think it's dangerous.
I think we're going to kick off every hour with some type of siren.
No, I don't want you to do that. Unless it's something that's like an air raid or something that people are not going to believe is really happening in their world.
Okay, how about...
No! Well, is that a submarine one?
No, that's just the reactor.
Which is the submarine one? Okay, that's a nuclear reactor.
How about this?
That's better.
That's better?
Yeah, that's better, because if I heard that, I wouldn't be scared. You're scaring people. One day, someone's going to call the show and say that they had a heart attack because of you.
I'm sorry.
Really, you're scaring people.
And usually it's me that scares people when they look at me.
Exactly.
Now, Laura, you're going to defend that idiot over there? Are you really going to defend him?
Anthony. It's got a bunch of toys, and they're fun to play with. I play with toys at work. No.
So there's a cow on the road. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
There's a
Sometimes.
Now, Laura, you don't think it's okay that we're picking on Anthony?
No. Stop it.
He might have really scared people.
I doubt it. If they were paying attention like they're supposed to be.
See, there you go. Tell him, Laura.
So all you have to do is look in your mirror. No cop, don't stop.
See,
No cop, don't stop. That's
it's good because I keep you awake and keep you on your toes.
And some of us need that from time to time, especially when we hate to drive home.
That's okay. All right. So you're doing a public service then, Anthony.
Right.
It's good to have that moment of adrenaline. You're like, where is it?
I love that Amy and the car in front of her both pulled over.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for defending poor Anthony, because nobody ever does defend you.
No.
It's about time. All right. Now, okay, I want to take a break. Don't play any sound effects. Don't freak people out. Can you handle yourself for 5 minutes? There you go.
Oh, what is that? Is that a circus?
Yes, the circus is coming down the road.
Pull over, the circus is behind you.
That's better. I'd rather it be a circus, unlike this circus.